What the fuck is wrong with everybody?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Everyone's losing their goddamn minds. And yeah, go.
Because it gets ratings, because
I think she believes it, though. You know what? Can I play a clip of this Candace Owens clip? And the reason I want to play this, because I just am fascinated by how this mind works. There's something wrong with this woman. I think this is pretty obvious to say. She has been going on rants about Charlie Kirk's assassination.
There was a massive pipeline
right, we're just gonna play it.
That was almost exactly behind where Charlie was sitting. Here's that maybe it's a water pipeline. I don't know, but there it is under the flag. And to your right, I went into my tips line and I saw that somebody had messaged me about this. More than one person messaged me about this. They're like, hey, yeah, there's like a whole underground thing there. And to your right, you're observing those two little boxes. And they told me that was a trap door. Now, I'm not implying someone, popped up and shot Charlie, but that's a close-up of that area. I'm just implying that there's an entire underground there. And I remember when I looked at the footage, I felt like it was coming up. I don't know anything about ballistics. I'm not an expert.
True.
But if there was a hatch door nearby, then we can assume, as we should always assume with colleges, obviously stadiums, there's always an underground path. So I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that. While everyone's looking around and thinking that a shot went off from here, if that was just maybe like decoy number 2, and actually Charlie was shot from beneath him, which then could maybe explain why there was no exit wound. Again, I'm theorizing because I have a right to. I have a right to think. And that is interesting to me. Where does it go?
Yeah.
Where do the tunnels underneath UVU lead to, right? That's an interesting question. Maybe everyone's looking up when we should be looking below.
Yeah, that's not an interesting question. It just, by the way, it reminds me of Waiting for Guffman. She's like, how many babies can you fit in the tire? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch it. It's fantastic. But like, she's allowed to think, yet she is not doing any of that, it appears. That is one of the most deranged fucking things.
This is a great argument against giant lavender Stanley Cups won. And I'm thinking when she's going about the pipeline, I'm like, Jack Prosbiakic, the other guys who are going to take Charlie Kirk.
Well, by the way, the other people in that world are like, could you relax? That clip was pulled from that guy's Twitter feed who's in Malaysia, Ian Miles Chong. And he's like, dude, you're fucking insane.
Oh,
like,
he's
yeah.
Wow.
It's
the gatekeeper.
By the way, this is where we are, people. Ted Cruz is like, the government is getting involved in free speech and this is bad. The government shouldn't do this. Ted Cruz. Ian Miles Cheong. I don't know what his name is. Is that his name? That sounded racist. It wasn't meant to be. He's not American and he's never been here. That's all I know about him. True. He's like the Lars von Trier. He's never been to America, but he talks a lot about it. But even he was like, this is crazy. And everyone else is like, yeah, you can't speak at the funeral because you're a lunatic. Tucker Carlson can and talk about the bagel, what do you say, hummus eaters? I almost said bagel eaters, didn't say that. The hummus eaters who killed Jesus. What does that remind you of? I mean, Mike, I'm sorry to ask you such a big question.
Is it going to be about
what the fuck is wrong with everybody?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Everyone's losing their goddamn minds. And go.
Because it gets ratings, because
I think she believes it, though.
Fractured and splintered. Well, you got to pretend you think it. When she's going about the people under the stairs, and I think Chris Elliott's going to pop up in an old
Fraggle Rock.
Chris,
the man from under the stairs who killed him. He's like, I don't know ballistics, by the way, but there's no exit wound, and which looked like it was coming from up. It's like, if you don't know about it, don't talk about it.
It is, except that this is her trade, and this is what she does, and what can she offer, and what can't she offer.
I mean, the answer to both questions is nothing. She can't offer nothing, and she can't offer. She can't because she can't hold back. It's like it seems to be every like little brainwave that she has goes out there. But I'm going to advise people.
But Candace Owens is brilliant. I heard Candace Owens is brilliant.
We disagree with some of our friends on these issues.
On the brilliance of Miss Owens?
We disagree on this issue.
In that lavender Stanley
I don't know, but I will say this to people out there in Moynihan Report land, which is a smaller land to Candace Owens land. It's kind of like the Liechtenstein to her Russia. Is
it a duchy?
It is. I mean, it's the Andorra more than go out there to the tip line and just flood it with the dumbest fucking shit in the world and see if it gets on the air. Just be like, I don't know if you look closely, you see an angel flying in the background with a weapon, actually, loaded weapon. And by the way, maybe the police aren't looking at the underground tunnel. And she keeps on talking about valves, by the way. You got to look this up. She's talking about valves a lot. I don't know what that means. But because they have the gun and they match the ballistics really quickly.